welcome back to our podcast. This is podcast number 2.
Well, in theory, it's number 2.
This is our third time of recording, just in case you're sort of wondering. Yes, so welcome to podcast number 2. Today we are talking about childhood toys. I will kick off by saying...
Do we need to say when our childhood was, in case people think we're only 23?
Do we have to reveal that?
Well, you're older than me, so I think you should go first.
So my childhood was from 1959. What age would we go up to?
When we, on the secondary, no, leaving school?
Well, they can do the maths.
They can do the
I
maths.
was born 1959.
Right. Well, I was born right at the end of 61, so it's
I was right at the very end, the last second.
more or less. So I'm nearly a 62, which is why I always say Jan's 3 years older than me. But it's only 2 years and 11 months.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to start with childhood toys. I'm going to start by saying I think a lot of us were back then. I loved my dolls and my pram.
Oh,
and I loved
yes.
walking along, and I had a bouncy pram, as I called it.
Yeah.
What they call it? Like the royal. What they call it? Royal.
Oh no, Silver Cross.
Silver Cross.
Because,
and
yes.
it was springy, like the proper
Yes,
one. And by the way, I'm doing the actions here. It was springy. And I loved it. I loved tucking her in properly with my fingers down the side of the mattress. It's so hard to do a podcast. Not you can imagine it. You can imagine it. Because I'm sure you were there.
Because I love being tucked in.
No.
I do. I make Isla do it sometimes.
So, yeah,
It's the way you did
loved
with
it.
your hands there.
Exactly, when you tuck them in. I remember, even when I was tucking my kids in, it took me back to those days with the Medal's pram. And I used to have a doll called Susie. And she, as far as I know, I think my granddaughters have got her now.
Was she a Tiny Tears?
No, just a normal...
Just a doll.
Just a doll, just didn't really do anything other than just be.
Just be.
I remember my nan... I think it's probably quite likely that my sister paid with this doll as well. But it's quite likely that my nan knitted clothes and blankets for it, and my mum did as well. And I think at one point I probably had to go at knitting some of it myself. You know, you start with a blanket, don't you, for your dolls? Especially if you've got a Barbie or something, because you only need a very small bit of knitting.
You did, yeah.
So yeah, that was quite a... I had that for quite a while. It's sad because you don't see girls with dolls as much now, do you? Dolls and prams.
Oh, I don't know if you do or not.
I'd actually, one of my daughter's friends, she put up the other day her daughter's birthday, and she did have a pram, and I was so pleased to see it because I don't think you do see it. They're in the shops.
Well, we're trying to smash the patriarchy, aren't we, Jan?
Yes. What do you mean by that?
Well, we shouldn't be conditioning little girls to grow up to be mummies.
No. But they're there for whoever's going to buy them.
Well, yes. Callum had a pram.
Yeah,
his dollies.
exactly.
Yeah.
They're not just specifically for girls. They're just whoever wants to play with dolls.
See, I don't remember having... I must have had baby dolls, but it's not a strong memory. Not like Barbie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Cindy. I had Cindy as well as Barbie.
I had Tressy.
Tressy. Was that the one with her hair came out the top of her head?
Her hair grew, you didn't pull it out, it grew.
She had like a dial on her back.
Yeah. And it wouldn't always go back in. Once it was grown, it was grown.
Yeah. My Auntie Sue, who my chicken's named after, although she was my mum's sister, she was only 12 years older than me, because there's a war in between my mum and her younger brother and sister.
Oh, right.
So there's a big age gap. And she used to do back combing on my Barbie. She used to do like proper beehives on my on my Barbies. They had these sort of back combed hair.
Oh my God! Did you ever get the knots out though after?
I don't think I ever tried. I wish I had a photo of that.
She
Because
just
Auntie Sue had a beehive. So she used to do it on my dolls as well.
Yeah.
And my nan used to knit all the clothes for my dolls, including knickers.
I can remember that.
Yeah, she used to put a little bit of elastic through the top and a bra. She used to knit a bra, and it had like a little, what you call
a press stud.
Yeah, to hold the bra.
You're just bringing back my memory because I couldn't remember everything, but that's coming back to me now when I used to make them for my Tressy or one of that size doll, Tressy or Barbie, whatever. And I remember gaffing the fabric and making a pair of knickers, and then I couldn't get them up past her thighs. So that rings a bell.
Yes. Yeah, see, I didn't ever sew, but I did knit quite young. I think my nan taught me to knit.
Yeah, see, I've always liked to sew. So, yeah, and so I did do a bit of knitting as well. But what's your one of your first memories?
Well, I had Cindy and Barbie, and I had the bedroom set. I had Cindy's bedroom set.
Yes, so did I. I forgot.
It was white. It was like French provincial. I don't know what that style was. White with like gold bits on it.
And it was plastic that made it look like it was studded.
I don't think mine
Was it
was
like
studded.
that? Oh, it used. I know sometimes the beds had like moulding, which made them look like they were studded bed heads.
Oh no, mine was kind of swirly curlies.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and
I suppose it had real gold painted on it as well.
Yeah, of course it was. I know I was an only child. I didn't have to share, but there was definitely a bed, a dressing table.
Yeah.
And the thing is about the dressing table is I don't think Cindy's legs bent.
Oh.
So
That's
she
a
could never
good
sit.
point.
She could never
I
sit.
can remember, yes, sitting my doll on and her legs were stuck out in front of her, yeah.
Because I think Barbie
What
was
was the point in that?
Barbie was the first bendy-legged one. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong there, but yeah. So yeah, my nan knitted all of that. While we're on dolls.
Dolls?
Dolls
Or dolls?
Dolls.
Yeah.
Paper dolls with tabs.
Oh my God. So, Sharon, you've definitely got a better memory than me, because you know, every time you say something, I think, oh my God, yes. Yes.
Because I'm younger.
Making all the little outfits. Are you not much younger?
I only do because it annoys you so much.
I know. So, yes.
You'd buy like were they in a book?
I think they were. Oh, you could push them out of the page.
That's right.
You had a dress-up doll in a book.
It was like semi-perforated.
That's it, yeah.
And the tabs were on the sides on her dresses.
Yeah.
So then you could put a new outfit on her.
Pinch the little tabs around her. Oh my God, yes.
That was good
And
fun.
I think sometimes you could even colour the dolls in and then put them on, make your own outfits and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I loved those as well.
Yeah, I'd forgotten all about those. The sort of books that you got in a stocking, wasn't it? Because they were only, I don't know, they were probably pence, weren't they, back then?
Thing is, we didn't get toys every day, did we?
No.
Toys, well,
No.
they were presents, and they were presents for your birthday and Christmas.
Yeah.
Maybe something when you were on holiday at the seaside, but you wouldn't be, you know, I just had another thought then, which was about my kids and trying to steer them away from the magazine aisles.
Yeah.
If you'd gone in to get some sweeties or even a bottle of milk or something.
Because the magazines with a freebie on the front.
God. Magazines with the most awful plastic shit
Yeah.
on the front, and they were like a £5 each. 3 kids. It's a lot
Mind you, I
of
can
money.
remember even as a youngish adult wanting the magazines with a freebie on the front. I didn't necessarily want to read what was in the magazine.
Well,
I
there
just
was
wanted the
free
freebie.
makeup. Teenage years.
Oh,
there was
yes.
Free makeup was
Yeah.
a lipstick or a nail varnish.
Oh, do you know, I can remember buying one Twinkle or something,
Right.
and there was a plastic lipstick on the front. It didn't even actually have any lipstick in it.
Just
it
the
was
shape
just
of
solid.
it.
It was a shape, and I had to pretend to put my lipstick on. Oh God, it's coming back to me.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yes, I did have Twinkle. That was very young, wasn't it?
yeah, it must have been. I'm sure it was
Yeah.
like from 2 years old or something.
Yeah, yeah. And then Jackie, when you were older,
Yeah.
we were just talking because
And
we've
Bunty.
been. But I don't remember having Bunty.
Yeah, no, I did for a little while, I think.
Yeah. But we were on a Facebook group
Yeah.
about Jackie magazine, and it's had to close today because it's been so overwhelmed.
Yeah, it was so popular, and it was
It was
incredible
very
looking
popular.
back. Everybody seemed to look the same back then. That was the funny thing, wasn't it? But yeah, well, I suppose my toys are more in the 60s,
Yes.
and yours, well, some of
they would
yours,
have
but
been
yeah, they were
60s
both in the
as well,
60s,
yeah.
60s to 70s, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
definitely.
One thing that sticks out about in my memory, I think we sort of touched on it by saying that we didn't always have toys. My mum and dad really didn't have a lot of money at all. I don't know what it was with that sort of era, whether it was
Well, there was
still...
4 of you.
Well, there was 4, yeah.
Did your mum work?
At one point she did, worked in Woolworths.
Yeah, but most of the time it was 4 kids plus, You
I
know,
remember my dad being out of work quite a bit as well.
On one
But I
income.
just remember us not having an awful lot, even when you look back at the black and white photos, and you could tell our shoes were scuffed up and the furniture didn't look great. And I remember they tried really hard to get us presents, and we were so excited at Christmas. I mean, I can remember laying in bed, and I swear I could hear Santa on the roof, and we couldn't wait.
Dad just in the TV aerial.
No, that wasn't it. I think it was all my imagination. But I remember we couldn't wait for Mum and Dad to get out of bed, so we went downstairs, and one year we went down and opened nearly every present. And now, being a parent, I feel really bad about it, because obviously Mum and Dad would want to see us open them. But by the time they got out of bed, we'd broken all these toys.
Aww.
We had a puppet where a strong string had come off, is the one thing that stuck in my mind, and it's really sad when you think they couldn't afford to get even that, and we managed to ruin it before they even saw us open it. Well, yeah, so that's more of a memory than the actual toys, because I just knew, even as young as I was, that I must really have upset Mum and Dad, you know. Well, not just me, my brothers and sisters as well, but...
I mean, I was an only child, I think, which does help.
Yeah, I've definitely got...
It was only me and my dad. My dad was a fireman, so it was a reasonable income. My mum didn't work until... Was I in secondary school before my mum worked? I might have been in secondary school before my mum worked. Yeah.
To think about, I might have been actually, because... Yeah, well, I think that's why, because we were... If I was at school, then I think the others wouldn't have been far behind me, and she worked in a school kitchen. I think we've mentioned that in the previous podcast. But Mum worked in the school kitchens and that, because they needed the time off with us, so... Yeah. But yeah, so the money wasn't... It's not like now. I mean, parents think they're hard up now, but God, I don't think it's anything like the same to myself.
No.
I think it's, they're just, the only reason they're hard up now, I think, is because they're striving to want more than we did.
There's an expectation, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so what's another one of your toys, your favourites?
Well, I was very fond of my post office set.
Yes. Your stamp.
Oh, exactly. It was all about writing down and stamping and folding, putting things in envelopes and putting stamps on them.
Yeah.
Hours of fun.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about catalogues the other day.
Oh, right, yeah.
And my mum ran a catalogue, and when all the stationery ran out, they'd get new ones in, she would give them to me to play with in my post office set.
Oh, the stationery that went with the catalogue, yes.
Yes, because it was all written by hand with carbon copies, wasn't
sent
it?
your orders off and that,
Yeah. Oh my God, I just had a dream thing then. Oh, sorry.
Like deja vu?
Well, no, a dream I've had
Yeah.
about someone ordering a lot of stuff from me off my catalogue.
Oh, we'll talk about Sharon's dreams in our podcast
Well,
one
we'll have to
day.
remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I then used to fill in the old Freeman's catalogue, things that I didn't need anymore. A bit of carbon just went such a long way, didn't it?
Yeah, and when you looked at the carbon, it was almost see-through because you'd written on it so many times.
So I did like
the carbon, yeah, I used to feel very clever using the carbon paper.
I remember a teacher doing it when my youngest started secondary school, and she was like, "What's that? I've never seen a piece of carbon paper in her life."
Oh.
She was like, "How does that work?"
Wow.
Because they wouldn't have had, would they?
Yeah, but why would it be so unusual to them? It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Another one I've got down is a record player, but then that's probably getting more into like some. They're coming out of my memory as I think of them because they're not in any particular order.
And we're not chronological here,
but
are we?
Me and my sister desperately wanted a record player.
Yes.
And my dad was so desperate to get us one, but obviously me and my sister wanted one, so we had to share.
Yes.
And we did share a bedroom, so it wasn't quite so bad. But we had a German one, which was really heavy, wooden case.
They were supposed to be portable.
Oh,
I don't think I could pick mine
no,
up.
But ours wasn't a portable. It was a proper little. You wouldn't call it a hi-fi. It was literally a record player. Just that was all it did.
Right.
And I remember it having this really shiny wood all the way around the outside.
Right. When was it?
And it was, I can't remember the name, but it was a German make. So my dad said it was a good one. Look after that, and we did. We had it for a long time.
I had one that looked a bit like a suitcase, like a vanity case,
we probably have
with a
one
handle on, and it was like a portable. It wasn't portable at all. It weighed a bloody ton.
Yeah, I suppose it depended who was carrying it, but yeah,
Yeah.
but you can still buy them. Some people that look
Oh,
after
I
them,
mean,
you can find them, can't
yes, I mean, that's quite a retro thing to have vinyl now, isn't
you?
it?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah, oh, I loved my record player. I had a cassette tape player as well. And my mum, like an idiot, used to, the new top 30 used to come out on a Monday lunchtime. Why can I remember these things? Anyway, they don't anymore. It comes out Sunday nights or something. It used to come out Monday lunchtimes, and obviously I was at school, so my mum used to stay there next to the radio.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember it being a Monday.
With my cassette player.
Oh, bless her.
Recording the new top 20 for me.
Oh, I can remember doing it myself.
Yeah.
And I think that was on a little portable cassette player.
Yes, that's what.
Stop-start.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I remember I used to play Puppy Love by Donny Osmond over and over again.
And I remember singing it and nearly crying. Yes.
I did have a boyfriend then as well.
Oh dear. So it had more meaning
Nigel
to
Nesbitt,
it.
if you're still listening.
Nigel Nesbitt? He sounds like an actor. That's because I'm thinking that I've forgotten his name. Nigel Nesbitt.
We were 11.
Another thing,
yeah.
talking about sharing, another thing me and my sister shared, I was desperate for a typewriter.
Oh, right.
And my sister
yes.
is probably listening to this and probably think you're remembering that wrong, Jan. But I remember wanting this typewriter. I'm desperate, and I didn't just want what's the name of the one? There used to be a child's one.
I can only think of Pitman, but that's the grown.
No, I think there was another one beginning with T, I think. Anyway, there was a child version. I didn't want that, but somewhere along the line, my dad managed to get us a proper one, but we had to share that, and I loved it. I still love typing now, so it's just in my blood. I just love typing, so yeah, that's just another thing I had to share, and I didn't really want to share, but because it probably cost me mum and dad so much money, it was a shared present.
Yeah.
So another one from you?
Bikes. Always had a bike.
Oh really? I can't see. I think my brothers might have had one, but
I was a tomboy though.
yeah, and I didn't. Again, I've said this before, but I was a bit of a wimp really. I was always worried about falling over and hurting myself. God knows why.
Yeah.
But I'm still a little bit like it now.
Quite often there were second-hand bikes. My dad would because I remember there was one. There was this whole story. I don't know how old it was. We could probably work it out from what I'm about to say next. Where it snowed on Christmas Eve, which is quite unusual in the southeast of England.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
It was in the 60s
I do
and
remember
70s.
some snowy Christmases though. Yeah, it was funny that it don't happen now really.
And he bought this bike second hand and then sprayed it gold. Oh my God! And I think it might have been Christmas or my birthday, because my birthday's Christmas too. Yeah, bloody loved that bike. I've also still got a scar on my hand. Doesn't show up so much now, in between my thumb and my forefinger.
I think you're making it up.
I'm not bloody making it up.
Can't see it, yeah.
I think the wrinkles get in the way now. I'm going to make you study that.
Okay.
Where I went over the top of the handlebars on my bike.
Oh, see, that's why I didn't want one.
Yeah. Again, though, never broke a bone.
I tell you what, I was that much of a wimp. Eventually, we got a scooter. You know, you used to have to push with your one leg.
Yes.
And it had the brake at the back and everything. But I was even scared of putting the foot on the brake in case I shot over the handlebars of my scooter. I was that much of a wimp. But I still picture it now. We used to have to go down to the end of our turning, and because the next road was quiet, so we could go up and down by the houses there. But yeah.
No, I will say I had the privilege of growing up on a long, flat road. It's great for cycling.
Well, it was flat, but yeah, I had to go. The main road my mum lived in was a little bit busier. There was a school there, so we used to go around the corner.
Yeah.
Well, you know what my mum's road was like. You had to,
yes.
With the school, and just that little turning.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have been there.
And one of the other things I was desperate for, I think, which probably came before the scooter, and that was roller skates.
Oh yes, I did have roller skates as well.
And it was the ones where you had the leather straps.
Yeah, big old metal things.
Yeah, big heavy metal things,
Yeah.
and they were adjustable to fit the shoes.
They had like a key.
Yeah. Well, I don't know actually. Was it a metal key or a plastic? Right. Yeah. So it probably was the same. But I can just remember this. Yeah, something to adjust it, and it fit whatever shoes you had on, because you didn't have to have didn't have a boot.
It didn't have a boot.
It just strapped on your existing shoe. And I don't think I went anywhere with them because I was frightened to fall over as well. That I was thrilled to bits to get them, but I never went anywhere. Honestly, I was such a wimp.
Oh dear, no, it wasn't quite that bad. I've got another good
I was
one.
just delicate.
You're very delicate. Because you just wanted to be a mummy and play post office.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, probably right there, actually.
I'm going to say one word.
Oh, okay.
Clackers.
Oh, I got them as well on my
got
list.
clackers on your
Yes,
list.
yes.
I think I nearly blinded myself a couple of times with those. Used to bruise your hand all the time.
Yeah,
as well.
I was a bit scared because I probably did it like that at arm's length and winced. That's why I was doing it.
Do we need to explain what clackers are? Because they might not be the same in every country.
Well, yeah, they were on a bit of string, weren't they? Two plastic balls.
Like testicles, really.
Well, they were a bit like testicles, yeah. And you just had to move your hand up and down and make them crash at the top and at the bottom, didn't you?
Yes, they used to start off just doing it at the bottom,
That's
but the
right.
faster they got, they would go clack, clack, clack,
Oh,
clack.
demonstrating and punching the table.
Jen's getting a podcast injury.
I've done too enthusiastic there. So yeah, just clacking them back, top and bottom, and then eventually probably crashing your knuckles.
Yes, I've just thought of another thing I used to do a lot.
Yeah.
A ball in an old pair of tights.
Yes. I mean, it's
And
such
you'd
a
be
simple toy, wasn't
Up
it?
against a wall, you had your back to a wall.
Yeah.
With this tennis ball
And you go,
type
dun,
thing.
dun, dun. There's even songs to go with
Yes,
it, I think.
and it was under your arm, under your leg, over the top.
Oh, I love that. See,
And
that
it
was
was a
fine. I wasn't
pleasure.
going to hurt myself with that one.
No,
I was
no.
fine. So just swinging
Don't
it back
put a
and
cricket
forth.
ball in.
I do wish you could see our demonstrations.
Oh, I'd forgotten about those.
Yes. Oh, and French skipping.
I don't think I did that.
Oh, didn't you? I loved that. Just a long piece of elastic. If you didn't have friends, you just put them around two chairs, pulled out, and they were sort of leg width apart, and then you did these little jumps and pulled the elastic over and all that.
Did you not have French?
Not very often. If I played it at home, I had to have the chairs out.
Sister play with you?
No. And sometimes it's like tents, wasn't it? We used to have a tent across two chairs.
Oh yes.
Play tents.
Yes.
Yes, it's all making it all come back to me now.
Oh, I'd forgotten the hours of fun with a tennis ball and a pair of tights.
Yeah, but so it was so
Great stuff.
simple, wasn't it? Just put that
And
ball
of course,
in there. And
playing ball up against a wall.
yeah, I never got the knack of that.
Oh, I can still do that.
No,
Two,
I could
only
never.
two, and I can juggle with.
It's weird, isn't it? Juggling against the wall, yeah.
Yeah.
But you say you can juggle up as well
I can
without
juggle
the
up.
ball.
Only with two balls, but I can juggle up.
Yeah, no, I was never any good at any of that.
Yeah,
I'm
that
trying
was-
to think what other tours did similar. No, I can't think of any. But... So moving on to the next one,
Go on then.
I've got a Viewmaster,
Oh, yes. Used to sell them in Woolies.
and I think they might still sell them now. I think there's a version of them now, unless I've seen the retro ones that people.
I don't know. I've not seen one for
But
years.
when you used to have to put a disc with all the little pictures in,
Yes.
and you click the button and hold it up to the light and
Pictures
just
of other people's holidays.
no, not quite. Some of them were, but
Well,
no,
they're
you
often
might be
exotic
Disney.
locations.
Yeah, otherwise it was Disney. But you got different sets, didn't you?
Yes, you could buy different
You could-
sets.
and Disney stuck in my mind, but I can't think what other ones there were.
I can only remember scenery. Did I buy a really boring set?
Obviously,
Perhaps it was someone else's holidays.
but they're still out. They're still the same colour. They've always been red. And
Yes.
but I don't know
Yes.
whether you can actually buy them now.
Yeah,
I'll have to look in a toy shop
Yes. On a similar, in a similar, is it on a similar vein? In a similar vein.
now. In a similar vein.
In
yeah.
a similar vein. Kaleidoscopes. Like
Yes.
the telescope
Yes.
thing, hold up to your eye and then twist and you just
Yeah.
got pretty patterns.
Oh, they were so
All little
pretty.
beads used to,
Yeah.
they were lovely.
And you could play with that for ages, couldn't you? Because the pattern changed all the
Yes,
time.
it did.
That's bizarre, really, when you think about it. That was a nice toy, that.
Very nice.
That was another bit of a stock. Or say, it's probably stocking filler now, but probably back then it was probably one of the main presents.
Well, yeah.
What else you got?
I've just thought of a Wendy house.
Oh yes, I don't know if I had one. We probably had to do the sheet over the chairs bit for a Wendy house. But
I did have a Wendy house, yeah. I also thought of other magazines when we were talking about Jackie. Smash Hits.
Yes, that was more into the teen bit.
Yeah, where they published all of the lyrics of the songs
And you
that
could
were
sing along,
in
yes.
the charts of that, yeah. And I think some of the songs that I know almost off by heart still now are things I learnt in Smash Hits.
Wow. God.
And I also used to get the football one.
Even back then?
Yeah. Which was called Shoot.
Yes, I remember the name of it, yeah.
Yeah.
My brother might have had it, but...
Yeah, we had Shoot as well. Yeah, but Smash Hits was great.
Another one, Etch-a-Sketch.
I should have remembered that because I watched Elf the other night,
Mm.
and when he leaves the house and runs away, he leaves him a message on the edge of the sketch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. What does he say? I'm sorry I put 6 waffles in the VCR machine. It's on his note.
But I think with Etch-a-Sketch, you couldn't go in circles, could you? It's just up and down.
Yes, it was very square. Yeah.
I think so, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you had to do different things with each
Yeah,
knob,
vertical
didn't
and
you?
horizontal
That's
lines.
what it was, and then just sort of try and...
I can't say I really got the hang of it.
No, I don't think I did.
don't
Yet.
think I did any
You see people doing
masterpieces.
that, and they've got masterpieces from it. Yeah, and in the same sort of vein, we used to get that bit of card with the bald man, and then you got this piece of lead and a magnet.
Moustaches!
Yeah, and you used to put the moustache or give the man hair.
Yes!
I can't remember what it was called.
That was so funny, wasn't it? Oh, dear.
Again, I'm sure I've seen them again recently, but maybe it was in another retro page I've looked at.
Spirogyra? Did you have a Spirogyra?
I've got a spirograph.
Oh, is that what I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
Spirograph. Where you had the circles
spirograph.
inside. Spirograph. What's a Spirogyra?
Maybe they brought it out again and called it that. I don't know.
I think that might be a band from the 80s.
Spiro what?
Spirogyra.
Oh,
I'm going to have to
right.
look that up.
Okay.
You talk about
But
Spirogyra.
spirograph I loved because again it's all part of drawing and pens and things. So you had a bit of paper, you pinned it on a bit of cardboard, didn't
Yes.
you? And then you've got there's all different holes in the disc, which caused different patterns. So you've got a book telling you what number holes to use, didn't you, to get a particular pattern. I loved it.
Yeah.
Sometimes
very
you'd
good.
spin round so fast you'd tear a hole in the paper, but it was good laugh. Good enjoyed that. It was artistic, of course I liked it.
Yes, Spirogyra were a 1970s British folk rock prog band.
There you go. Well, that's totally off subject there, Sharon.
Oh, yes, definitely had one of those. And there was a similar one which was quite messy, which is definitely around, I think, when my kids were born.
Oh, the painting one.
Yes, where you spun it round,
Yeah.
and then you had to put the paint in, and you made like
I
splatter
think it was
pictures.
battery powered, wasn't it, or
Yes,
something?
I
You just
think
flick
it
the
was.
button and then it spun with the paper, and then you had to just drop your paint on. Yeah, it was a bit messy.
Yeah.
But it was good, again, good fun. But I can't remember if I actually had one. Again, if my sister's listening, she can tell you in the comments.
What about board games?
Oh, Mousetrap.
Oh no, I don't think I had a mouse
Did
trap.
you? I don't know if it was better then or now, because it's still for sale now, isn't it? But obviously,
Yes.
probably not as good a quality. But
It's probably
it was really lucky to actually get it to do the full course without it falling
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always very confused as well that there was a West End play called Mousetrap, and I assumed it was about putting the game together. I didn't really understand.
Can you imagine it, the whole stage being like Mousetrap
Just
board?
giant one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frustration was another.
Oh, liked it, but I didn't mind it too much. But I think either my younger brother and that was playing it, or my kids might have played it. But the noise got on my nerves
Yeah.
after a while. Yeah, click click, click click.
Because it had a kind of dice in a bubble, didn't it?
Yeah,
And you had to make the dice jump.
yeah. So it was a bit like playing Ludo,
Yes,
wasn't it?
very similar.
But yeah, the dice was in that was the gimmick,
What was
wasn't
the
it?
one
Really.
with the kaplunk with sticks? You
Yeah.
knew what I was doing there, didn't you?
Because she's giving me some actions here, so I know what
It
she's
was,
on
I
about.
was pulling one of the
Kaplunk.
sticks out, yeah.
Yeah, I think we had that as well. And there's some marbles flying all over the floor because they were bouncing too far. Yeah. So that was, yeah.
I tell you what my cousins had, because my cousins lived with us for about 3 years, from when I was 8 till I was 11, something like that. I remember them having buckaroo.
Yeah.
We had to pile lots of things.
Yeah.
And pile as much as you could on before the
And it still made you
horse,
jump, didn't it?
every time.
And I think there's one called Pirates or something now, isn't it? Where he's, I think he's Pirates, and he has stuff balanced on him and he jumps. And the other one was it wasn't, because that was a donkey, I think, wasn't it? Was it a pony?
It was that kind of thing. I'm not sure what.
But there's been something similar since. It was equine or not, we don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, buckaroo.
My chair's squeaking again. One thing I did like was French knitting.
Oh, is that the thing where the knitting would come out the bottom?
Yeah, and I bought one recently, didn't I?
One.
And I can't get on with it. I can't get it. I think I'm pulling the wool too tight around the pins. But it's like have a cotton wool, like a
Cotton reel.
looked like a cotton reel, didn't it?
Taller.
With pins in it, not pins, but like what's those little tacks, like tacks almost all around it. And then you just kept winding it round and pulling it through. Yeah, I used to do that watching TV. I like that. Yeah. So have you got any more on your list?
I don't think I have. I think I've done all mine on my list. I've got other 70s, 60s and 70s things.
Yeah. But while we're on the subject of what have you got? You said about magazines, didn't you?
Yeah, and I've got pop music. And I had Johnny Osmond down.
Oh yeah, no, let's talk
fan.
pop music.
Pop pickers.
Sounds like, I was going to say, sounds like one of those DJs, didn't it, back then, who used to do the quiz. What was it was just pop quiz or something, wasn't it?
It was just the rundown of the top 20, I think, wasn't it?
No, there was actually a quiz show. Like you say, but yeah, I know the one you're saying, pop pickers. It's I can't remember the name of the DJ, but yeah. So my favourites were Donny Osmond, David Cassidy, David Essex.
I didn't think you were allowed to be both a Donny Osmond fan and David Cassidy. I thought you had to make a choice.
Oh, was I going against the law?
I think you were.
Oh dear.
I think you had to be in one camp or the other.
Oh, I never knew that.
Because I did consider becoming a Mormon. So I could marry Donny Osmond.
See, I recently on that Jackie page, I was talking to a woman on there, and she said she was going to marry, I think it was David Cassidy. She said she was going to marry David Cassidy, and I said, but you can't have done because I was. And she said, but could we not have shared him? And I went, no.
No. I wanted to marry Prince Andrew, which is funny how that turned out.
Prince Andrew?
Well, he was quite handsome when he was, because he's only a couple of years older than me. He's probably your age. And
right.
Yeah, he was quite a handsome prince. And my mum said to me,
he was, yeah.
My mum said, don't be stupid. Who's ever heard of Princess Sharon?
Well, there's always a first. Oh, that's not fair, is it?
Princess Sharon.
Princess Sharon. No, they might have changed your name, you never know.
Yeah, I think I would have had to have adopted something a little bit more decorous.
Decorous.
But then I got into, after I got past the Donny Osmond phase, Sweet. So there was that kind of rock, 70s rock phase when they were quite, it's funny, isn't it, the way things change. They were quite gender neutral, weren't they? There was a lot of spangly suits and
very
makeup.
long straight hair and makeup.
Yeah, long hair for the boys, wasn't there? So,
yeah, there was.
Yeah, and David Bowie when
that
he was
was
a bit older.
that was because that was pre. What's the next lot up in sort of 80s? What's that called? Something.
Glam? No.
It's like glam
New
rock,
Romantics.
isn't it? New Romantics. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was before that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But,
So yeah, Sweet. I was in an antique shop with Frank and David
yeah.
a while ago, and they were playing Ballroom Blitz by Sweet on the
Wow.
I think it was on a record player.
Yeah.
And
So, you'd find it hard not to sing along.
well,
or
no,
dance.
Frank was singing along.
Was he?
And then we worked out that it was actually 50 years ago. It was 1973.
Wow.
And then we felt absolutely decrepit.
Yeah. It felt a bit crap after that. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. See, that's I took it on the subjects of bands. I mean, I just love Bay City Rollers.
Oh, see, I wasn't in with the BCRs.
Yeah,
No.
I loved. I think
My friend Sue
if
was.
I remember right, if my friend's listening, she'll tell me. But I think Debbie, if you're listening, you could say in the comments. But I'm pretty sure I went to see Bay City Rollers.
Did you?
And me and my friend Deb again, we used to wear the check trousers and stuff like that, just because. And the scarves, obviously, you had to have the tartan scarf.
It was a weird outfit, wasn't it?
But it wasn't then. Or did you think it was?
I
even
thought
then?
it was weird then. You know, these kind of turn up trousers halfway up your calf, a scarf
and the big platformy like trainers, weren't they? They had big fat platforms on them. They were like, well, I suppose more like laced up loafers, weren't they, rather than trainers?
I don't know. You're going to have to try and get a picture of
Yeah,
this
we'll have to have a look at some point.
No, I wasn't a big Bay City Rollers fan. I liked Leo Sayer in the 70s, which is quite grown up of me. I thought he was lovely.
Who else was there?
Show Must Go On and all that. Cockney Rebel.
Yes.
I think it was a bit of a one-hit wonder, though, was it? Come Up and See Me.
Yeah, I don't think there was many, was there?
No.
Is that within our era, or are we thinking?
Yeah,
I get confused sometimes with the eras. What about Right Said Fred?
Oh no, that's later.
That's what I thought.
Later.
What else would it be? I mean, talking about, not necessarily bands that I loved, but one I do remember growing up was like a lot of people was the Beatles.
Yes.
And my mum and dad loved the Beatles, so I can always. It's probably where I got it from. My mum used to have the Beatles playing on the record player while she was doing her ironing, and I used to play CDs when I was doing my ironing. As my kids can test and say that they remember all my ironing music. So every time I hear them, it's quite fond memories.
Did you ever buy those knockoff? Well, not knockoff. They were cover versions.
Like the Top of the Pops ones.
Yes, you used to get them in Woolworths.
Yeah.
And they were obviously a lot cheaper than buying the album.
Yeah, and they sounded awful when you think of it.
And they always had a scantily clad lady on the front.
Of course, yeah. Same as you get on Top of the Pops, wasn't it?
Yeah, like Pants People.
Yeah, yeah.
So I remember there was a few Beatles tracks on those which for years I attributed to whatever cover version these people did before I realised they were cover versions even.
No, but so it's one of the most I sing, if I sing to myself, it comes on is the Beatles. I just nearly remember them word for word. And there's other ones, like The House of the Rising Sun was another one my dad liked. I used to sing to that. Yeah, the Animals.
See, my dad wasn't very progressive with his music. He was a big Jim Reeves fan.
Oh, right.
Country and Western. Just
as we're talking, I just had a flash of an album cover with toys on it.
Toys?
Yeah, toys and I can't remember what music it was. It was probably nursery rhymes on an album or something.
It's not one of your dreams we're on now, is it?
No. No, I can't remember what it's called. And there was another one which was more nursery stuff, but yeah. So if I had them in front of me, I'd be able to tell you a lot more about it because it jogged my memory more. But no.
But I do remember a lot of 70s lyrics still, and yet I can't remember a word I said 5 minutes ago. No. Back to the menopause again.
Well, that's what they say. I remember seeing that on the thing on Facebook. They were saying about you can remember back stuff, lyrics like off the back of your hand. You could just remember it easy. But yeah, something you did yesterday. What the hell?
Gone. Yeah.
Weird.
It's funny how the brain works. I like to think of it in filing cabinets.
That's a good idea, yeah.
That maybe the stuff I can't remember now is still in my pension tray.
That's a good way of looking at it, yeah.
But still I can go flick, 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 flick through the file. There's big drawers you pulled out.
Yeah,
if you can flick, 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 70s lyrics, how it comes. Adverts from the 70s as well.
Oh.
I think they didn't change them as often.
If you go on YouTube or something, some of them, you can still play some of them, like the Woolworths advert. And it's like minutes and minutes and minutes long. They used to go around Woolworths, do Christmas time, and just showing all the toys you could buy.
I loved Woolies. My Auntie Sue worked in Woolies as well in Plumstead. Yeah.
Was it when I
It's an Iceland.
I can't remember. It was Iris. I worked in the Iris one, but that's
did you?
for another podcast. But yeah.
No, first of all, Auntie Sue worked in a. We're getting off subject. Worked in a.
Is this Auntie Sue that your chicken's named after?
Yeah. Yeah, because she was always like a big sister, really. As I say, she was only like 12 years older than me, so she wasn't like. She was in between generations in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Cause she's like 16, 17 years younger than my mum because of the war in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I spent a lot of time with Auntie Sue. Yeah, and she worked in, I don't know what you'd call it, hardware. Sold like washing up bowls and...
Oh!
Not like a pound shop, but just an everyday...
Yeah, no, there were like places that did like mixture. Where was it?
Lakedale Road in Plumstead.
I think I remember it, but I don't remember what it's actually called. It's like a hardware shop, I think, yeah.
But I can only think of washing up bowls right now. They must have sold something else.
I'm sure they sold something else. At least washing up liquid to go in it.
Yeah, and then she got a job in Woolies.
Those pop bands, I've gone off on a tangent again. You know, David Essex was a definite...
He was very handsome, wasn't he?
There was a little video of him. There was a little video of him on Facebook today, singing. I think it was it
Christmas one?
I don't know. He was stood there in a white suit, a star one, something star.
So he did a film, didn't he?
Yeah, wasn't that around a circus
I'm
or something?
Make you a star.
Might even have been that video that was on there. Thinking about it.
Yeah.
No one's going to get that song from what we just sung.
Probably not. No, I'm just looking up David Essex film. Wasn't he called David Essex because he lived in Essex?
I have no idea.
Wasn't his real name?
What does it say? Are you finding that out? Phone died?
Phone died.
And what are we looking for? David Essex's real name?
Well, if you go David Essex film first, that's what I was thinking of.
We're still here.
Jan's looking up on her phone.
Oh, there was one called That'd Be the Day. Stardust.
Stardust.
That was it.
Yeah.
Apparently he was in Silver Dream Racer, which I vaguely remember that.
Don't remember that.
And That'll Be the Day.
That'll Be the Day, I remember.
Looking at this, he's been... Yeah, I'm just looking. He's been in quite a lot.
What's his real name, though?
Okay, let's find about David Essex. One thing that's come up on Google is David Essex a pikey?
Oh, how rude.
How rude is that?
You shouldn't say that. Very rude. That's like a derogatory term for... Well, people don't even say gypsies now, do they? Travellers. Travelling community. Yeah, it's a very South London expression.
No, he was born in 1947.
Right.
He was born David Albert Cook.
David Cook.
Yeah.
In Essex? Was he born in Essex?
Oh, I'd have to find that out.
Go on his wiki. Is he dead? Is he still alive?
Well, there's no sign of a dead date, so...
He's still with us.
I'm thinking he's still with us. From Plaistow in Essex. That's what it says.
I don't think Plaistow's in Essex.
Well, it says Plaistow, Essex on there.
It does, but Plaistow's East London.
Perhaps there's another one, you know, sometimes you
well,
get
yes,
this.
possibly, but yeah. Interesting.
It's a sub, you know, it says here, is a sub... Plaistow, or, it tells you all different ways of pronouncing it, is a suburban area of East London.
Yeah.
That's weird, isn't it? So why did they put it down as Essex?
Well, there's parts of London that used to be Middlesex that are now London, aren't they?
Well, yeah, maybe it's changed since we... But perhaps everything's shifted since we left.
Moved further down the river.
Yeah.
Oh, right, still alive.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think he's been on some stuff recently. Obviously very grey now.
Oh,
but he's obviously still got those eyes.
He did have such blue eyes, weren't they?
Very pretty eyes.
Beautiful eyes.
But then so did David Cassidy.
I wasn't a big fan.
Oh, I see a picture of him today
What
as
was the series he did?
Partridge Family. Oh my God, I used to cry watching the Partridge Family. I was just thinking, oh, and if he looked at the screen, he was looking at me. It was that. It was that sort of thing. God.
That was very fashionable to stick a pop star in a series like that.
Yeah.
Like the Monkeys.
Yeah, I was just going to say the Monkeys. I used to love that, watching old Davy Jones. He was so cute.
Yeah, he was my favourite as well.
There's only one of that band left now, isn't there, as well?
Are they all dead?
Well, except for one, I think.
Oh. Is it Davy Jones or is he dead?
No, I think it's Mickey Dolenz.
Oh, right, okay.
Let's have a look, see what it says.
Do you remember the Jackson 5 cartoon as well?
Yes. 1, 2, 3. The easy, was it one? Easy as one.
ABC.
ABC, yes, the ABC. Easy as 1, 2.
That was such a psychedelic-y looking graphic and everything,
Yeah.
and that was fantastic.
I'm just trying to find out. There's nothing on there about their. No, I can't find any references. Isn't to do with that, is it? No.
How are you spelling monkeys? You're not
No, it's
spelling...
right. It's all about
Oh,
the
right.
monkeys. I've just not got the bit I want.
Oh, right. I thought you might
Was it? They got a CD set by the Monkeys, which includes the first 5 albums of the Monkeys.
Thing
Oh, they did,
is,
5.
while I'm having an old lady complain, Google, it's all about selling you things now. It's not about helping you gain knowledge anymore, is
No.
it?
Oh, well, I've got some things I can click on. Peter Talk.
Yes. He was the blonde
He
one.
died in 2019, so that's a
Is he
bit
the blonde
sad.
one?
Yep, the one there at the back.
Yes. Yeah.
And we're going for Mickey Dolenz. He is still around.
Okay.
So he's definitely still around. Robert Michael Nesmith. They called him Mike Nesmith. He
Don't
died in
remember.
21.
Oh, so they're... Yeah.
So it's quite recent.
Yeah.
And then Davy Jones. Oh, I thought he was one of the last to die. He was the first to die.
Oh,
2012.
well, there you go.
Oh, and he was so sweet.
So if we were teenagers, they're probably only sort of 10, 15 years older than us, weren't they?
Yeah,
If you think about it.
yeah. I mean,
So he must have died quite young, old Davy.
yeah, I don't know. Let's see if it says. Well, he born in 45, died in 2012.
I'm going to have to
You're
write
going to do
it
your
down.
maths now.
45, 55,
I can hear the cogs going.
2005. When did he die?
2012.
Right, so he was born in 45, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. He was only 67. Is that right?
I'm just working it out. It's 7,
Carry one.
5. Yeah, but thereabouts. Yeah. Oh, that was young then. Oh, I didn't realise that.
Quite a lot of Davy Jones. That's because why
Yeah.
Bowie's called. He was a Jones, wasn't he? He was Davy Jones.
Oh, was he? I don't remember that.
His real name's David Jones.
Oh. So you got. So that's them. What was the other band? I wonder. I'm just thinking about the Sweet. Is anybody in the
Sweet.
Sweet still around?
I don't remember any of their names. Brian was the lead singer called Brian.
Yep, Brian Connolly. I should have remembered that actually. I'm looking at them pictures. That's the most recent picture. Look at them there.
That's a recent picture. Oh my God.
Sorry, you can't see this, but you can tell by the shock.
Just a load of old blokes. That's how I remember him down there. Look, with that
So-
page boy haircut.
Yes, yes. Well, I always liked the hair. I always wanted my hair like that.
I never grew mine that long.
Yeah, so you got Peter Lincoln and Joe Retta, and then Bruce Bisland and Richie Onari.
I do not remember any of their names. Slade. We haven't talked about Slade.
God, yes.
We still have Merry Christmas, everybody, every year.
Well, yeah, it's hard to forget them, isn't it? They keep
Yeah.
bringing them back, so
And I think Noddy Holder's still with us.
that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know.
This is not just for podcast, you know. Jan and I spend half our day
This is-
looking up dead
This,
people.
exactly. This is us trying to get our memories going. I can't see where the band Sweet now. I can't bother to
Slade.
look for them ones. Let's have a look for Slade. Slade.
I only remember Noddy Holder, and there was Dave on... Was he on bass?
Dave Hill
Yes.
and Russell Keefe.
No, I don't remember that, but just Dave Hill.
I've found some of them, yeah.
That's Dave Hill, yeah.
And he had all glitter in his hair and everything, didn't he?
So very...
He's 77 now.
Oh, bless him. Still getting
Yeah.
those royalties in, I hope.
And his wife's name's Jan.
Oh, Jan and Dave, that's unusual.
Yeah. Yeah. Got children, Bibby Hill, Sam Hill and Jade Hill.
Well, his kids must be in their 50s, presumably,
Yeah.
unless he had them late. Second marriage.
I just
and
see
all
a
that
question on
business.
Google again. Why did Slade... Why did Slade split? Now you can see why I got confused. Apparently it was in retaliation at being fired by his best friend and fellow co-founder and band member Dave Hill.
Oh.
He got fired by him.
Noddy Holder did.
Well, I never. It just said, why did they split? That's a bit weird, isn't it? Well, who else is there? Oh, yeah, Thin Lizzy. Mud. I loved Mud.
See, they were a weird throwback, weren't they? Because they were like, they dressed as like 50s rock and roll boys, really, didn't they?
They did, didn't they? Yeah.
And that was 70s stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I used to like. And one of them was always very effeminate as well, wasn't it? Not Les Gray was the
lead singer. Is that right?
Yes, it was. Yeah. Drummer Dave Mount. Well, I never. And came from Carshalton, which is where, just round the corner from where Duncan's parents live. And the bassist was Ray Styles.
Not related to Harry.
I'd never heard that. I'd thought I'd have heard of that by now if he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, their singles Dynamite and Tiger Feet.
Tiger Feet.
Lonely This Christmas.
That's the one I just sang.
It was, I think.
Those tiger feet. That's when you used to do that dance. We do that at chair fit sometimes when you put the one foot over the other foot.
I reckon that's where it's come from, you know.
Those tiger feet. Awful.
What's that? Also known as Dumb and Ring.
I think we've gone on a different
Anyway,
website.
that's where basically the band came from, Carshalton, Graydon. I wonder if Dunk knows that, because it's around the corner from where he lived. Yeah.
No one ever came from where we lived, did they? Steve Davis, of course.
Oh yeah, so lead singer Les Gray, he was only 57 when he died.
Oh.
But he died in Lagos, in Portugal.
Lagos? I thought that was in Africa.
Well, it's definitely Lagos, it says.
Lagos.
I know what you mean. Maybe it's pronounced differently.
But it might have been a Portuguese colony.
Where's
Lagos? Is it Nigeria?
It says, it means lakes, Proto-Celtic. It's a city and municipality at the mouth of the Ben Suffrim River.
Look in Lagos, Africa.
In the Bar Valento region of the Algarve.
Oh, he's still doing well for himself. He's sunning out in the Algarve.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Where's
city
the other
of Lagos.
Where's the other Lagos? Got Lagos, Africa.
We've gone into geography now, listeners. Where does... I can't even get
One of
that
Jan's
there.
specialist subjects.
Yeah. One of my favourite subjects, Lagos, Nigeria.
Nigeria, that's what I said, yeah.
And it's spelt the same as well, so...
It's funny, isn't it? It's probably Lagos in Portuguese.
How is it?
Lagos.
I'll just have a quick look on here, see if there's any bands we've forgotten about. Obviously, there's
I did think of something else when we were talking about Wizard, another Christmas one.
A T-Rex, I think we mentioned,
Oh,
didn't we?
I loved Mark Bolan. He was an early dyer, wasn't he?
Is he? Oh no, it's
his wife, girlfriend at the time.
Yes, he did, and he died in 77.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd forgotten it was that early.
So I was only 15 when he died.
Yeah.
Oh, he was lovely.
So, yeah, it was born in 47, died in 77, so he's 30. Ridiculous.
Yeah, she was driving the car, hit a tree.
Wow. This is what caused the death. Oh.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh. I got that wrong. It says what caused the death of the T-Rex. Not T-Rex, the band. I was just going to say, no, he didn't. He died of parasistics.
Mark Bolan went off on a meteorite.
He didn't die in a crash at all. He died of parasistic infection, apparently.
Oh, dear. The white swan. You'd have to cut out all
Oh, apparently June Child, was that his wife?
Possibly.
No, she didn't die in the crash, though.
Oh, no, she didn't die. She was driving the car.
Oh, right. Oh, she didn't die until 1994. Well,
there you go.
Status Quo. Smokey, remember them?
Smokey, no.
Not the Hoople.
Hot the Moople, I remember
Fleetwood
those.
Mac.
I wasn't a big... Yeah, they were a bit too sophisticated for me, I think.
Was Lynyrd Skynyrd that far back?
Probably was, actually.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
We both said.
There you go. Well, I think that's it for this podcast.
Oh dear, there's so much of the 70s we still haven't covered.
Yeah. For next podcast, I think we'll be talking about our guilty pleasures. So you have that to look forward to.
Yeah, some nice, some particularly weird.
Yeah. So tune in for that, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Oh, sorry. Bye.